Hey everybody, it's Shelly with the Iowa Quilt Block, and today we're going to talk to you about some of our favorite tools that make cutting and piecing easier. So we're going to start out, first of all, because of course Rotary Cutter is such an important tool. I don't even know how people did this accurately without Rotary Cutters. But I do love, I don't know if you've ever gone to like a quilt museum. We have a great quilt museum in Winterset, Iowa here. So if you're ever traveling here, plan to make a stop there. It's well worth it. But I look at those antique quilts sometimes. They don't always have antique quilts, but they had a show that was like quilts from the 1800s or something. It was crazy. And they did not have rotary cutters. That was with scissors. I just can't even. Anyways, we have fallen in love with the Femore rotary cutter. Ours is a little older style. They just repackaged and have better, not better colors, different colors. Aqua is my favorite color, but we love this rotary cutter for a lot of reasons. Very ergonomically easy to lock and unlock the blade while you're going. Quick, easy change to change your blade. So if you've ever like changed other brands, sometimes they spring out and then you're like, how in the world does this thing even go back together? Maybe that's just me. Anyway, they also are guaranteed. And with most of their products, you can send them to them and they'll sharpen them too. So pretty cool. So that is the Femore rotary cutter. And just a quick reminder before I keep going, everything that you see on our YouTube channel, whether it's unboxings or these tips and techniques, are going to be on our website under the YouTube as seen on YouTube tab. So that is the rotary cutter. All right, next, this is a thing, this came out in the last year, I think, but it's called a ruler lip. These little plastic guys. This is game changing. So there used to be a ruler company that had a little lip on the end of the ruler, which was awesome, but they are no longer. They've been gone for a few years. These ruler lips can hook onto the edge of your ruler. Super easy to put on. And then the edge of the mat, your ruler stops. So it really helps if you've ever, here I've got another ruler, I'll show you. Sometimes, I love Creative Grids rulers because they have non-skid on the back. So it really helps, but they do still slip sometimes. For instance, trying to see with, you know, you can have everything lined up, and especially when you've got a big piece, because right now I can put enough pressure with this, but if I've got the whole board going and you go to cut, this can turn on you. Anybody ever else have that happen? Or it goes this way and then boom, you no longer have a straight edge. Super annoying, especially if it's a kit that you got somewhere, because you're not going to have enough fabric for too many oopses. But the ruler lip, here, I'll save that square up in a minute. We're going to put this so it hooks right to the mat, and then we can line up our piece and securely cut. Boom. So awesome. The other awesome thing about the ruler lip, if I can get this off of here, is this is probably one of my favorite things about it, is you can hook your rulers together, because this is my favorite ruler, 6.5 inches wide. But if I need 12 inches, this isn't big enough. So I usually line them up without the ruler lips, and then you're like really worried about it slipping on you because you're now trying to keep 2 rulers straight. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has done that. But with this, I'm just gonna flip them over so they match with their half. We can line them up and hook them together so they are securely, there we go. They are securely being held together. And now we have a 12.5, well, it's 13 inches actually. So now we have a 13-inch ruler by 24 to make those bigger cuts than what our favorite ruler is. And it also catches on the edge of the mat, which I don't know if you can see that edge. I'll use this edge. Catches on the edge of the mat to even help it be more secure. So if you're shaky at all, or you're just nervous, or you have a lot of problems with whatever ruler you have slipping, these are going to be your best friend. They're great. Okay. Then we also love this tape. What is this? Glowline tape. There's 3 rolls in a package. They are like super bright neon colors. They easily unroll. They tear, but we usually cut them with scissors because it is kind of a plasticky material. But these are great for marking on your ruler, especially for squaring up, because sometimes there's so many lines on these rulers and you kind of lose track of what you're doing. The first handful go great. Then your brain well, at least mine does, it's like swirling all over the place, and I sometimes lose track of which lines I'm following. So this is outlining the 2.5 inch mark on this particular ruler to make it super easy to square up our pieces. Okay, so I'm going to use this ruler with these marks to square up to 2.5 inches. Hopefully, we'll do this a little closer up too, but okay, so I'm gonna start with my lower corner, the lower left corner, because I'm right-handed. So if you're left-handed, you might do it different. So then I'm gonna line it up, boom. Okay, we got one side square. Then I'm gonna flip it, line up that lower corner again, and trim, and trim. And now I've got perfect 2.5 inch square. All right, we'll do it one more time because once is not enough. Let's see, I'm gonna just do it on this. All right, so I want a 2.5 inch square. I'm gonna line up the bottom left corner so that I can safely trim, not worry about cutting myself. And then I'm gonna flip it. And now I'm lining up with the edge the 2 edges I just cut. And we're gonna trim and trim. And we got another one, perfect. So this Glowline tape is super helpful for that. The other thing that I've done, it is very skinny, but I have used it to mark baggies with like if I have a complicated, very piecey thing that I'm doing, like I made the Elizabeth Hartman unicorn a couple of years ago, and it had so many pieces, so I baggied all the pieces and then I used Glowline tape to label them, and it stuck. It was perfect. All right, so that is Glowline tape. The next thing we were going to show you is 2 more tools that we love. One is Frion Pin. So this pin is heat erasable. So it goes on, and you use it just like any rollerball pin. But when you touch it with an iron or you're pressing your pieces, it disappears. The one thing I do always warn people about is it will reappear if it goes below freezing. So I've never used this when I'm marking the top of a quilt, like for quilting or trimming or anything, because just on the off chance that thing gets somewhere very cold, that line is going to show up. But it works great on the back of pieces to mark, like for half square triangles or for doing flying geese or anything else where it tells you to draw a line down the center or 2 lines down the edge. I'm going to show you how it works. So this is what it looks like. This is the quick 1/4-2. You can see it's got a line down the center, and it's also like a 1/4 inch on both sides of that line. So if we're doing half square triangles where we're just gonna sew them down the line and trim them, then all we're gonna do is line this up with the top edge of our square, triangle tip to triangle tip lined up in the slot. Then I'm gonna take my Frion Pin and I'm gonna mark the lines. Oops, I moved a little bit. There we go. And then boom, we've got our line. The other thing, I'm gonna use one of these too. The other thing that's super awesome about this is you can line up tip to tip, and you can also draw your outside lines These are your 1/4 inch lines from the center if you're doing more than 1 half square triangle at a time. This method makes 4 half square triangle or 2 half square triangles at a time. But then when we go to press these, that's gonna disappear, no one's gonna care. And if it reappears in super cold, it doesn't matter, it's inside your quilt. No one even knows. So that is the Frion pin and the 1/4, what do they call it? Quick 1/4 ruler. Love them. Hope you enjoyed this demo of some of our favorite notions for helping with your cutting and piecing. We look for, be sure to subscribe and also go to our website and you can look at all of these products on as seen on YouTube. Thanks you guys, have a great day.